vertical curl that it actually binds itself. So I can do that and it just falls on me.
Yeah.
Or jams the clipper.
Let's see. I guess I can do not disturb for everyone else. Yeah. Oh wait, I need to change the background.
Had a meeting where you needed to look professional, did you?
Yeah. Because I've done the opposite, and they're like, "What is that in your background?" Nothing. There.
That's my fuck chamber.
Nurse Andre, is that? No, it's not. Hold on.
Not a bedroom set? No, it's just one of those default backgrounds. It must be. Wouldn't be
my nephew was playing with my phone.
Debauchery.
My nephew was playing with my phone. He must have put something else on there. Kids. He's only 3, but he's so smart. Quiet that down. I should record some audio tonight. And I will need my jingle palette to play jingles with.
Well, did your jingle palette? Is that what crashed on you?
No, my tab that I had like all my stories and shit open in crashed at one point. It just went away. Yeah, I wasn't real pleased.
So also people are working next door, so that's always fun. We have
I haven't heard them yet, so
okay, good, because that's all I can fucking hear at this point.
I'm the noise Nazi, so
yeah, no, I know it. But we're guys, just so you know, on a whim, I decided to try to broadcast to my YouTube.
Right.
So yeah, no, that's what we're doing.
Oh, so we're broadcasting live.
We're currently broadcasting live to YouTube. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now
I don't know how it's. What's that?
Is there a way to jump that into Facebag?
Well, I think what I can do is share a link into Facebag.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out how to fucking do right now. I'm trying to figure out while you guys are like talking, like how to face fuck the YouTube. I want to fuck your face. It's basically a face fuck the YouTube.
Okay.
Maybe we click share.
That's a good start.
All right, we go to clear. Well, maybe I could just click on Facebook.
All right, so I want to go to. Okay.
I don't.
Who has the weird alien noises?
I thought that was that. All right, so there's a vacuum going on in the background, but it's like the. I thought that was Dre because it didn't start till he popped in.
Right.
But
and it sounds like some weird alien noise from a movie.
I've got the upstairs people banging around.
Bastards.
Oh wait, hang on.
Not right now.
So we can share in an event. We can share on a page you manage.
Yes.
Things are running slow. But
well, shit, I do believe this is us. Yep, we're live on the YouTube.
On the YouTubes, huh?
Confirmed. I'm looking at us live right now. Well.
But
well, shit, I do believe this is us. We're a little behind. Yep.
I mean, yeah.
On the YouTubes, huh?
Confirmed.
I don't. So what do I do now? Like, why does the page got to be all fucking weird? Like, why can't it just be like, look like, oh, tag your friends, check in, let's tag some friends. This is taking forever. We start in 1 minute. How do I do this?
He keeps doing
There we go. Post to Facebook.
That might not. I wonder what that is.
I don't know.
'Cause we're on a headphone.
Are you wearing headphones?
Yeah, I always have in my Bluetooth. I have my Bluetooth and a microphone.
All right. Juliet will be joining us.
Wait, Juliet's on and Doc is not. That's weird.
Well, Doc's on sabbatical.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. I accidentally closed the YouTube. We're still live on YouTube. I just closed the interactive part of it.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sure there's a way to reopen it.
maybe. Hang on.
There has to be.
Maybe what I can do. Well, where the fuck is she?
I don't know if I knew that. Don't you think she'd be on already? Oh, excuse me.
Is that her?
I just got an upside down head from Maddie.
Oh, that's what that was. Is that what that noise was?
Yes.
Was she scheduled or is she just kind of filling in for us?
No, it's her. This would be her week.
Right. Okay.
I went back in the back in our RSS and said, "Oh, she was on this one." So 1, 2. Oh shit, she's on this week. So,
all right. Let's
I
just
don't know.
we'll give her a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 8:31.
I didn't see any response from you, Dre, in any of the chats where I mentioned that I'm booking a guest for January. Do you have any potential conflicts? I want to make sure that we're all here for the guest.
No, I don't think so. I usually list this as my conflict.
Okay.
In
any of the chats where I mentioned that.
Sorry, that's the.
Right, you're very.
I have an upcoming rehearsal schedule that's going to start in January. But like I said, I listed Wednesdays as my conflicts.
Is that the same show as Doc?
No.
Okay.
Different one. Mine.
Because she said her conflicts, her schedule is going to be Tuesday, Thursday, so she'd still have Wednesdays free.
Mine is going to be fucking ridiculous once it starts. But I told her, well, anyway.
Yeah. But I just feel like
no, it's different.
I feel like the interview is something that we should all be here for. Girl, I went.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I just thought that we all have something that we can bring to that.
Yeah, I like it.
And I don't want them to roll up and get all uncomfortable because we're all white.
Understandable.
I need you to ease them into it for me.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Like, hey,
look, I know other black people.
My mom always called me, why you always got to be the rock in the snow? Always got to be the rock in the snow. Yeah.
But, sometimes it's nice to be able to bring people together.
Exactly.
Is there a show sheet?
Oh, I did not send the show sheet out, did I? So sorry. Yes, there is a show sheet. Let me get that out.
Fuck's this.
Sheet, share. Anyone with a link, copy said link. Done. And I can put that here. And I'll also send it through the Facebooks if somebody needs it that way.
Please, because I work the show sheet from a separate device.
Ah, yes. The old separate device plan.
I run 3 fucking things to do this. Nothing with any quality.
Did you say inequality?
All right, I don't.
Speaking of inequality, here I am.
Show sheet 58. She did say she was going to be a little late, but I didn't realize that.
I mean, a little late. It's only 5 minutes so far, so that's a little late.
Yeah,
But
she's really not on until B block, so
yeah, it doesn't. We'll just answer the phone when she shows up. Why do I gotta update this every fucking time?
all right. You remember to give me permission, right?
Fuck. Permission for what?
Well, I want to share my screen at some point.
Right.
You can just make me co-host. That gives it to me automatically.
I'll do that in participants.
I believe so. Yeah, if you make me co-host, that also allows me to continue maintaining the show if you drop out.
Make co-host. No, not Metaroactive. Yes. Okay. Now what did I do?
I don't know.
Everything's still there. All right. Well, why don't I have? I think you sent out the top 3 teaser.
Did I? No. That may be what you opened, but I sent I definitely sent show sheet 58. I still have that on screen. Hi, everybody in YouTube land.
Wait, is YouTube censored?
We're about to find out.
In what way?
Like, if I tell YouTube eat a dick, does that mean that it stops the show?
No,
or
but
it gets bleeped?
But if you start to talk about the illness that is currently affecting the entire world, you may disappear. We may disappear. Our other friend who streams has told me he has seen that happen to people at least 3 times.
That's going to be very hard to not fuck with that.
Just because they said the P word or the C word.
I like the C word.
I love the C word.
Like a pirate.
My stepdaughter also likes the C word, one of her favorites. Shocks the shit out of people. She does not look like the type who would enjoy such a word.
Which is somehow a lot more satisfying when it comes
Oh, wow. Her grandmother didn't think so.
Morning, Grandma.
All right, let's get
Woo!
this. Let's get this show on. It's been.
Yeah.
We're 10 minutes out. We're 10 minutes.
Yeah, she'll show up.
It'll happen. Just don't. Let's go.
And we've got other shit to talk about if she doesn't. Okay, I'm going to get my stuff on my screen. Okay. And here we go. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, Jussie Smollett's attacker found guilty. Doc is on sabbatical, but as she was leaving, she hollered, Nancy Reagan was a slut. And speaking of putting our meat in your mouth, it's never been so easy as it is with this prototype Ouroboros steak kit. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us. With executive producer Mike Latoris.
There's a fancy doctoring word. Right.
Featuring the diverse duo, Stanley McFadden and the lovely, talented Doctor.
Shut the fuck up, Maddie.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
So anyway.
God damn, do we have a fucking show for you people this week? My name's Matt. In case you don't know. In case you don't know, my name's Matty Rockdeath. This is the Media Virus Podcast. We said in the top 3 teaser, the doc is apparently on Sebastian Bach, and
Sabbatical.
So is that what she calls him? That's like her little pet name. It's like, oh, it was my sabbatical. Is that?
See, what you're saying indicates that she might be banging an 80s hairband guy.
One of the awesomest 80s hairband guys there ever was. And I wasn't a huge, Skid Row was a great band.
Good act. Yeah.
But they didn't last very long in my, no, they hung on. But not in my, I was at that perfect age where grunge,
it grabbed you,
grabbed me as an entering the music, kind of lexicon or whatever word you want to use there.
I went to grunge a little late. I hung on to the hair bands for a while.
I can get that. I get that, but fucking Nirvana blew my fucking mind.
And I
blew my fucking mind. It was just.
I get that because I knew when it was there, this is going to be huge. I just didn't realize that I necessarily wanted to go there then.
Right, I got you. I
was a little late on that train.
No, I was thinking about this the other day, how lucky we were, or how, especially me, how lucky, I am that. Growing up, I had all these great bands that had come out, and this wasn't the first time this had happened in this, the people who grew up in the 70s, got to experience Black Sabbath, and I got to experience Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots. I was listening to fucking Pearl Jam the other day.
The cool thing for us in our age group, and you and I are 15 minutes apart anyway, it's we got to grow up listening to all that great stuff that our parents got to experience.
Right.
That late 60s, early 70s, even into the mid and late 70s stuff. And it was all still there. It was all still pervasive. And it wasn't uncool. It just wasn't necessarily ours. And then there was the 80s punk thing that the late 70s, 80s, early punk, real punk that came through that, if your ear was in the right place, you caught that. And then we got hair bands, which, it's its thing. I mean, make fun of it if you want, but there's there's something real there. And then grunge. I mean, we really in our lifetimes got to experience quite a good bit of interesting music. And my parents were into all kinds of stuff, so I got the tail end of some good funk and Motown and Michael Jackson as he crossed out of the five into his solo career. A lot of really cool shit.
See, I came just a tad bit later than you guys. So whereas I had kind of a foundation of somewhere between like parents listened to Motown, but I didn't want to because that's what they listened to. So I kind of went the other way. So I started with the beginning of rap, where it was still kind of stupid, really. But my real renaissance came with the gangster rap era, which led into grunge. So I had these two strong counterculture, rebellious sources.
That was
my.
I think that was the sound of the 90s. The sound of the 90s was this hardcore gangster like rap. And then, you know, these incredible, but like drop tunes, not just like, but, you know, different tunings and experimental, like
Limp Bizkit for me was a perfect blend of both that angry rap and then the grunge. It was a perfect blend of those two sounds. It was hardcore. It was both gangster, but it was like hardcore white boy guerrilla videos where it was just fuck you, here's a video camera, here's an illegal video that we're just gonna hijack a street corner and we're just gonna fucking do it, and when the cops come then we'll leave.
Sublime.
Yeah, and it was a great, and I think that's why I'm so rebellious as it is, because these were my influences.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about the fucking the Anthrax "I'm the Man" song, and then fucking Biohazard and Onyx. That was the entire Judgment Night. You guys familiar with the Judgment Night soundtrack?
Don't think so.
Vaguely, I remember the movie.
The soundtrack to Judgment Night is so they put like acts together. So it was Helmet and Everlast did a song together. Like Helmet and House of Pain did a song together. Biohazard and Onyx. We used to call them Oni X because their Y was different. So we call them who else was on that fucking album? The Biohazard and Oni X was the shit. Mudhoney and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
So
Booyah Tribe.
I remember that one. I do remember that one.
So while we talk about this, I just thought I'd take a second and allow Juliet to tell us about Hanson.
Hanson.
Dude, she's too young. Okay. She's way too young for Hanson. I feel like Hanson was like just behind us. Like in the girls too. I feel like Hanson got on my fucking nerves.
He must have grown up with like boy bands in the 90s house party era.
Yeah. So I was born in 1990, but in my house, my mom listened to everything. So I grew up listening to a lot of disco, a lot. She had a record player, so she'd play like a lot of Donna Summer.
Holy shit, she had a record player guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, kid.
If it's not too forward, about how old's your mom? Is she like our age?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she's cool, but like
would she want to be on this call tonight?
No, she's probably in bed right now. But like she collects music, so she collects records and cassette tapes. So she has the stuff still. When I go to her house now, she has like this huge library of cassette tapes and everything from stuff that she used to play when I was a kid. I remember this one cassette tape she had. I have it on my Spotify now, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? Because I remember seeing it. I'm like, ew, what's wrong with my mom? I can't remember the person who sings it, but do you guys know the song "Freak Like Me"? And the girl, she's like bending over.
Adina Howard. Yep.
Yeah, my mom had that cassette tape. I remember being like 5, and I'm like, what is my mom listening to? Yeah, so she played a lot of, and like I said, like Donna Summer.
You might have been conceived to that song.
No, I think it was Barry White. My parents love Barry White.
Could be.
So it was probably him.
That was a thing.
A lot of the population. A lot of population is due to Barry White.
I've often hoped that I was conceived to a polka.
They usually make Scorpios around Valentine's Day, so you know.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, we really got it together, didn't we?
But yeah, no, I listened to a lot of stuff, and my mom would always talk about Snoop was her boyfriend and LL Cool J was her boyfriend. So I listened, like she listened to like a lot of gangster rap too. She didn't listen to NWA. I was usually like at my friend's house or something when I'd be listening to that. But no, I grew up with a lot of like a wide variety. Nirvana was one of my favorite bands, but I loved NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, because it was all the boy bands and all that. Blackstreet, 112. Then we get into like late 90s, early 2000s. There was like a lot of Missy Elliott being played, Eve in my house, Aaliyah. Yeah. But my favorite
that's a long list of artists. And you know what?
I'm very musically inclined.
You know what? And I don't digest music like everybody else does. And there was her family came down to visit, and I picked up this one girl from the train station. She's ranting over Adele's new album, and she's how wonderful it is. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear Adele.
Yeah, but I really want to.
I started laughing. Well, I started laughing while it was playing, because it was one of the most terrible pieces of shit I've ever heard in my entire this particular song. It was just a piece of shit, and the guitar was just kind of terrible and bad and didn't go anywhere, and kind of her voice just kind of was just like shitty, and it reminded me of that I really hate Beyonce's last record. I think that was garbage.
Wait, was it Lemonade? Was Lemonade her last album? No, she dropped one right after that.
It's a fucking garbage. I don't know. It's the whole fucking, and it's just, if these people weren't who they were, these albums would not be in the mainstream. These are pieces of shit that people that
wait a minute. I remember her last thing. I loved it. It was a whole visual album. I like specifically made sure my daughter like sat down and watched it, because like my kids are mixed, so they're black and white, and it's really important to have that inclusion put out there. And she has this song called Brown Skin Girls, and it was so important for like not just my daughter watched the whole thing, but that song and that music video in itself was very important. And that playlist, I remember now, there was a whole thing that happened with, I'm not going to get into it, but I really liked her last album. I just can't remember the name of it. It wasn't Lemonade though, but I remember watching it. I remember like all the music videos.
I think that actually speaks to something Matt just said. Matt said he doesn't digest music the way that a lot of people do. And I kind of feel that way about myself. Matt always surprises me with things that he does or doesn't like. Like when we did a thing a while back where we all brought a song, and I brought something from Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show.
I fucking love Dr. Hook. I was about to start talking about it.
And it's like if you like Dr. Hook, there's only a couple of ways you like Dr. Hook. A, you were exposed to it and you just got it. Or B, the way that you digest music is you can recognize the craft and the what goes into it and what makes a song work versus not work. I'm a firm believer that if you can pick up on a few key things, you can hear a song one or two times and say, "Hey, that has the potential to be a pop hit." And if it's marketed right, it will absolutely be a pop hit. That's why you have the phenomenon of the one-hit wonder. Somebody's heard them play that song and say, "Oh, that's going to be your song." And that's how it happens. Because they try and they try and they try to catch that again. And if they just got lucky, they're a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Speaking of one-hit wonders, the Jussie Smollett verdict came in.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that the guy who got him beat up apparently is guilty. Actor Jussie Smollett was found guilty Thursday on 5 of 6 felony counts of disorderly conduct for making a false report to Chicago police, and that he was the victim of a hate crime in January of 2019.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, prosecutors say he staged. Excuse me. A jury of 6 men and 6 women deliberated for more than 9 hours over Wednesday and Thursday. Smollett, dressed in a suit and tie, appeared rigid after the verdict was read in court late that afternoon. He did not move and was seen gazing straight ahead. His fingers were interlaced and his hands were on the table. He didn't look at his family or the judge, instead focusing in the direction of the jury. A disorderly conduct charge for a false crime report is a Class 4 felony and punishable by up to 3 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Cook County Judge James Lynn will have the discretion in imposing a concurrent or consecutive sentence for each count on a later date. Special Prosecutor Dan Webb said at the news conference that he was proud of the jury. Mr. Smollett would not have lost his case as he did today unless the jury found that he lied to them. He said the fact that he came up with a completely ridiculous story to explain his misconduct did not apparently have an impact on the jury's verdict. The story goes on.
So I guess that was part of his defense, was he was he kind of tried to explain himself.
Yeah.
Why he made it all up? Like, why did he do that? What was his reasoning behind it?
Fame. Get his name out there.
But wasn't he famous though? Like, there's got to be like a deeper meaning behind it. I don't know.
Only did I think what he was looking for was to.
No, because this is what it was. Is you have this fucking guy who thinks cops are incompetent. No one's going to figure it the fuck out. You know, the cops are incompetent. He can spark, this big controversy. Say that he was attacked because he was both dark skinned and homosexual. That was too much. You could have just gotten beaten up for being black, and maybe we'd have believed you. But how's anybody supposed to know unless you have a stalker, unless these people know who you are walking down the street? These people are walking down the fucking street. They see you. They know, because they're racists that watch Empire, who you are. They're like, oh, I have this rope and this bleach. Let's go kick that guy's ass. Show him that in the middle of Chicago, here in Chicago, this is MAGA country. It's not a believable fucking story.
And let's not forget, they took his Subway sandwich.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
No, they didn't. He was eating the fucking sandwich.
There was something with the sandwich. I remember something with it.
That was when I knew it was a bunch of bullshit, because they left his sandwich alone. As soon as I saw, if I get my ass whipped by a bunch of dudes, regardless of race, the first thing I'm doing, I'm stopping the sandwich. Not because I'm hungry, but because fuck your sandwich. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, fuck your sandwich. You're not going to eat it.
That's the first thing I'm doing. I'll slap the sandwich out of your hand, kick it. You're not leaving.
I mean, a true racist. A true racist is probably going to smash the sandwich on the alley.
Yeah.
And then piss on it. There's two of them. One guy can hold him down while the other guy pisses on a sandwich. What's more insulting than pissing on a man's sandwich?
But as soon as I saw that he had an intact sound, it's like, nope.
Especially since they poured bleach on him. That was the. So listen, if we're gonna hoax shit, man, make it fucking believable, for fuck's sake.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of believable, like I said in the top three, Doc screamed Nancy Reagan's a slut on her way out, and that was in response to some stuff that showed up on the old interwebs. Ben Shapiro's sister tried to slut shame Madonna by comparing her to Nancy Reagan, and it backfired. The former First Lady began trending after old rumors about her sex life recirculated. So what happened was this chick who brands herself classically Abby on Twitter tweets, "This is Madonna at 63. I should probably share this so I can show you the photo. Because she compares Madonna at 63 to Nancy Reagan at 64 with the statement, trashy living versus classic living. So here we have Madonna on the left side there on the bed. And then
so we have a YouTube comment from Johnny. It says, don't forget the temp was like 30 degrees. What were we talking about?
I think it was like 20 degrees, or it was like below zero or something like that.
It was stupid cold.
Smollett said, yeah, like
there's a point where
don't forget, it was like, I mean, I didn't. Oh my god, it's so. Yeah.
I remember there was it happened so long ago, but I remember there were like these like details: the Subway sandwich, the temperature. It was like 2 a.m. or something like that. Nobody was on the street.
Who's getting the Subway sandwich at 2 o'clock in the morning?
They're closed.
When
they
it's
were
cold
closed.
AF.
That too. That's why.
Right.
It's like all coming back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like I try to be like down with the brown, and I try to defend Black people. Like I try to at least consider solidarity. But there was just too much bullshit in his story for me to even take his side.
Then we find out that it was 2 African guys who happened to be Black as well that perpetrated the attack.
I'm like,
it's like
the more I heard about it,
you couldn't even find some white guys to do this,
right? Like, give me something to at least like hold.
No, because because he is so racist, he doesn't even know any white guys. I bet you go listen. You ask Trey. Go ask any white guy. Will you kick my ass? Will you kick my ass? I won't do anything. Just beat me up. They're gonna do it.
30 is too cold.
They're gonna say you're gonna. What's
30,
that?
30
you said
degrees
you want
is
us to beat you up.
No. I'm not saying that.
You want us to kick your ass?
No, but what I'm saying is. What I'm saying is it's easy to find white guys. You can just go ask them. So I won't fight back, and I'll let you say the N word. They'll go for it. Let's go.
My point is 30 degrees is way too cold to be racist, and 100 degrees is way too hot to be racist.
You're not even close to the sweet spot.
Exactly. I can't. No,
it's got to be a nice 78.
Yeah, you can't hang somebody at 30 degrees. The rope will break. Like the rope is going to snap if you try to hang them in 30 degrees.
Oh my God.
So moving on.
Nancy Reagan had some throat game from what apparently.
Yeah,
I am loving this story.
That's exactly where
everything about this I love.
I think this is just an attempt to besmirch the the first lady of one of the finest presidents of the United States of America.
Which version of yourself do you want to be?
I'm telling you, I would rather. Madonna's looking pretty good there.
She looks really fucking good right there. Look at her. Now she's gone.
So as we found out from the internet, there was also a blog post about an unauthorized biography of Nancy Reagan that brought up the rumors that surrounded her sex life when she was when she was an actress before she was first lady. While you're over there slut-shaming Madonna, did you know that Nancy Reagan was referred to as Hollywood's blowjob queen during her time as an actress?
Mm-hmm.
Born Anne Frances Robbins, Nancy, the book alleged, was renowned in Hollywood for performing oral sex. Furthermore, she was reportedly known
do
to
you think
perform
there's
oral
video?
sex not only in the evening,
Probably.
but in offices, which was one of the reasons that she was so very popular on the MGM lot.
That's why she got booked so much.
I'm sure there's some video somewhere.
I don't know, man. Even in the White House, you think about
And
it.
as a matter of fact, there's not only is there probably video, it's probably video that the president had collected and destroyed.
Oh
Probably.
man,
Probably.
Because president.
that would have been a better "Say No to Drugs" campaign. Nancy Reagan might blow you.
You know, and I gotta say, I see nothing wrong with it.
No, I mean, that's how business was done in that day.
And I just love the fact. I love the fact that we're celebrating head game again.
Yeah. It's like, go ahead and slut shame Madonna, but she's not. The lady you're trying to compare her to was, she sucked some dicks too.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not really going hard at Nancy Reagan. They're just saying, hey,
I mean, she could take it.
She sucks some dicks too.
Yeah, she can get it. I think that's all they're saying. Like, yeah, Nancy can get it too. That's what they're saying.
I'm not gonna. She can take it. It's all right.
So, speaking of putting my meat in your mouth, we've got this great story. Apparently, there's a tech show that's going on, and at their exhibition, a team of scientists have gone and put together this kit to call some attention to the hypocrisy of the manufactured meat movement. I'm over here trying to touch a screen that's not a touch screen. That's brilliant. So, they're going on to this manufactured meat thing where they're making chicken that doesn't involve real chickens.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a company. They're some scientists. They call this the Ouroboros steak. It's a grow your own human meat kit, and it's and it's technically not cannibalism because there's not an actual person involved.
How would they even know what human meat would taste like?
It's delicious. I mean,
they don't have to because they're growing it. They're not making it. So what happens is with this kit, you get a little scraping from the inside of your mouth there to get some cells. And then there's a special serum that you add to it to feed it, and it grows and replicates some meat. And you get these little bites of meat.
Well, that's dumb. I can grow about 8 pounds in about 9 months.
Hold on.
What?
So you can put my meat in your mouth if you get the kit.
Did we not learn not that long ago that the inside of your mouth is very similar to a vagina?
We did learn that. Well,
so does that
it's been a while for me. I'm kind of old, so.
Does that mean that if
I've
we
known
take
that for at
the
least
inside line, that we can grow our own like pussy flavored meat?
Well, I suppose wherever you take the scrapings from.
Because if I can develop pussy steak,
oh my god.
I feel like they threw that out in bulk. You could the afterbirth.
I think
take a cheese steak to the next level.
Look, I think we need to think about this because marketing is going to be key. I think we need to call it beaver chops.
Beaver burgers.
Beaver burger. That could work.
Clam chops.
Clam chops. I love it. I love it. Clam chops. Boneless clam chops.
Boneless clam chops.
There it is. We have it. If the folks at Ouroboros Steak would like to talk to us about licensing the term clam chops, it was boneless clam chops was going to hear on the Media Virus tonight,
I
and
want a quarter every time someone says it.
we will license that. Absolutely, you can sell your people meat under boneless clam chops. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take
you could make sausage out of cock meat, right?
Remember, you
cock meat sausage.
Remember, you have to take a scraping to get to grow this stuff.
Yeah. See,
You gonna take a cheese?
Yeah, there isn't much to scrape.
You gonna take a cheese grater to little Matt?
I call my kid Little Matt, not my dick. I call my dick Muchacho. He is my friend.
Yeah,
Muchacho is funny.
all right.
Let's go on the break,
Ladies and gentlemen. We're the Media Virus Pod. We're the infection team. We're here on the Media Virus Podcast. You're welcome to give us a call at 1-646-VIRUS-01. That's 1-646-VIRUS-01. We've got the phone lines open. We're live on YouTube tonight, and we have at least one friend out there because he sent us a comment right to the stream. We'll be right back after this, and we're coming back to talk to you about some more news. But before that, we're going to go right into Tipsy Tarot with our esteemed
prognosticator. Past the intros completely. I didn't introduce anybody.
I know, so I'm going to tell everybody about our esteemed prognosticator.
It's that time of the month.
Everett. She's gonna give us some Tipsy Tarot reading, and that'll be right after we come back.
Thought we were taking a break. For anybody wondering what's going on, is we broadcast this whole thing to YouTube, but only the segments in between. You know, we're like, this isn't going to make it to an audio format podcast. What are you doing?
This part is still on YouTube.
Happen.
This isn't going to get audio. Oh, on YouTube, no audio, but the podcast.
It's on. Yeah, we're still on YouTube. We're just like, you know, kind of taking a break from the audio recording to kind of get our shit together. I think, is Mike?
I'm here.
What are we doing?
I just disappeared. I was actually I was looking for something fun to throw in since we're in a break, just for a minute, but I don't know.
I don't know if you can you throw in that the video of the spaceship I made?
If I don't have it handy.
Yeah.
What else did you guys talk about before I came in, or was it just about like?
We were, you know what? Okay, so we tried to make this stupid double entendre joke about the doc being on sabbatical and Sebastian Bach.
I don't think we tried to do that at all.
No, that was me and Mike.
There was a we there.
There was a little bit of pre-construction there, and I don't see you, John, but I know you see me. There's a little bit of pre-construction there, and it went off into this thing about just music and the how lucky we are to like how lucky I was to be in the time frame that I was pretty fucking amazing. Like there was a lot of great bands that I was able to discover that you probably were just like that was just the past. That was your dad's music.
I'm so glad I grew up when I did too, because like I grew up, like I said, like I literally grew up listening to all kinds of music. I forgot to mention, like my mom listened to like a lot of like White Zombie. That's what he goes by now.
Fucking White Zombie. I still listen to White Zombie. Las Exorcisto, Devil Music, Volume 1. It's a fucking incredible album.
Thunderkiss 65 is still one of my greatest hype songs.
Hell yeah, dude. Black Sunshine.
When I was
Welcome to Planet Motherfucker. I can just drive. I can put that on a loop and just drive forever.
Did you guys listen to a lot of, I know this is like, you're older than me, but like, remember emo music and the whole emo phase and stuff? Did you guys listen to a lot of emo music?
Papa Roach? Yeah.
I couldn't tell you specifically what emo is if I had to.
Goth.
Mayday,
what is emo?
I know, but like the music, I couldn't tell you specifically what type of music we're talking about there.
MCI, My Chemical Romance, Mayday Parade, Simple Plan. No.
Not so much.
Oh my god!
It's kind of like
big emo phase. Is that Oh, I know what you sent. This is not gonna go on YouTube. They're gonna flag right away.
So I should probably take that off.
We just put the head with no payoff. What's the point? Just the tip. That's the argument. That's the argument. Oh, we didn't completely fuck it. It was just the tip.
It was just the tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip.
Oh, jeez.
We didn't go balls deep.
That's great.
Meanwhile, as you talk, your camera's not on, so we actually see the bird perched on the dildo behind you.
What are you gonna do?
So there's a lot of violations, a lot of violating going on that we're.
There was this like kind of like a trend going around for like tarot readers on like Twitter and Instagram, and it was like, if you're brave enough, ask your cards what your toxic trait is. So I jumped in on it because I thought it'd be funny. I don't know how much you guys will understand of this, but I got the devil, and I was like, I fucking knew that was gonna come out because the devil represents like obsession and being like your own worst enemy. And I was like, I am so fucking obsessive. It's ridiculous, but it's because I have so many 8th house placements. 8th house is obsessive, possessive, Scorpio ruled.
Yeah, it's like she's an 8th. Say, mighty. The devil has it all hung out. All right, let's get back to work. Are we going? We're off break, right? We're on break right now, right?
So who did that image come from? Who's watching us on the big screen?
Oh, that's Johnny.
Johnny's watching us on the big screen.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's get back to entertaining Johnny.
Yeah. All right, so I'm coming back in hot with
Juliet's thing, right?
Yeah. As soon as I can reclaim my mouth. There we go.
Ooh, I have orange soda here.
Oh, isn't that handy?
It's a little treat from last week. I wonder if there's vodka in it.
Ooh.
Did I put something in here?
Okay. And we're back on the Media Virus podcast, ready to start our B block, which is our second offering for the week. And we're gonna talk about Suicide Pod's Nintendo Guy Died, Woman Swimmer Who Has a Rudder, Teen Smoking, Birds, and Slang. But before that, we're gonna jump right into Tipsy Tarot with our esteemed prognosticator, Juliet Everett. Media Virus fans, it's time for a look at what the next month will bring with our favorite dealer, revealer, and spiritual healer, Juliet, the Scorpion Goddess. Hey.
Welcome, everybody. So I wanted to do things a little bit differently tonight with my little tidbit, Tipsy Tarot, because we are at the end of 2021 and we have some major astrological events happening. So I'm going to pull some cards like I usually do, but I want to dive a lot into what's going to be happening in the next few days. And I'm not going to go into each detail of what's going to happen, how it's going to affect us, but I want to give a little basic kind of
A little
information.
overall. Just give us a little, the vagary of it.
Yeah.
Big picture.
There you go.
Let's
The larger
see.
picture.
Maddie, how are you feeling today?
I mean, like I got this pain in my chest and it kind of hurts to breathe.
Okay.
My back really hurts.
Have you treated yourself today? Done anything good or nice for yourself?
I took a picture of, I dressed up like Santa Claus.
I saw that.
I went into the bathroom, and while at the urinal, I turned and gave Bill the finger, and he took a picture of it, and that's now going to be my Christmas card.
Ha!
That's a pretty good Christmas card.
Right. Well, it's going to be the Media Virus Christmas card. It's going to be from everyone.
So I'm asking just because you're a Taurus, the moon's in Taurus, and we are approaching this full moon in Gemini. And we're dealing with Venus heading into retrograde, which rules Taurus as well. That's why I was wondering. But for cards that I'm pulling right now, we have the Hanged Man with the Five of Wands. So it's time to really like shift and change. Like we're going to be going into, or we're already in this, I want to say like a quote unquote, like a tower moment where it's like, oh my God, I feel so overwhelmed. There's so much shit happening. But at the same time, we're having this Hanged Man kind of perspective of, I feel all this stuff happening, but I can feel that this is literally the end of this cycle and stepping into like finally something new where there's like blessings on blessings coming in, but there's these changes and dynamics happening. And that makes a lot of sense. See, we have the Three of Swords. I mean, the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So this is all like mental stuff. It's changing. How do we think? Where do these ideas come from? How do I communicate the thoughts and ideas and whatever? Changing these old programs that we've had conditioned in our minds. But it's like we're in this, I have so much anxiety. This is so stressful. I don't want to leave this person. How do I let go of this person or this situation, this job, whatever? And for some people, it can be more of a big breakthrough, but this is not the time to, if you're dealing with a breakup or like a messy situation with someone who you've been going back and forth with, whether this is for, I'm getting like 3 years to even there's a 9 in there too, even someone that's been with you between like 3 and 9 years or a time frame, whatever the relationship dynamic is, this is not the time if you're like, oh, I'm feeling really drawn and I want to come back to this person because I'm comfortable with them, even though it sucks. This is literally saying like, do not make that move. Don't do it. That message is coming in strong. There might be a specific one for somebody, but don't get back with that person because it's not promising. Nothing's going to change. You need to, right, lovers. See, it's like you have these options. Which path are you going to go down? Are you going to go down to the reverse Ace of Cups in your comfortability where you know and expect shitty things to happen, but you've been doing it for so long, it's going to be comfortable? Or are you going to choose the path of the Ace of Pentacles where you can have something that is promising that you can hold on to, even though it's a difficult change and it's a slow process? Which path are you going to choose? The easy one, the bullshit one, or the one that's difficult but gives you more of what's that word when you do something that's difficult but it feels really good? What's that word? I can't think of it. You know,
Masturbate.
Sure. But
Triumph.
Yeah,
That's it.
there we go. We have the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and she's telling you again, dealing with that mental energy. Can you change your emotions and kind of just not change your emotions, but grieve and move on and cut through the bullshit? Because she's holding her sword, so she's like, I'm cutting through the bullshit. I don't have time for this, and I'm focused on where I'm going and not allowing anybody to get in my way. And I don't know if I've said this a bunch of times, but I always viewed the Queen of Swords as a transformative representation that gives us that energy or whatever, just literally transforming. And because we're at the end of 2021 and we're dealing with this 5 of Wands, 5 of anything is about changes when you're talking about numerology or just the numbers in tarot and the esoteric stuff. So are you going to make this change at the end of 2021? And when you do 2, 2, 1, that adds to 5. So this whole year has been this big transformation, this big change. And now that we're heading in the end of it, we're ending the year with Venus, which represents money, beauty, relationships, heading retrograde, where we need to go inward and figure out what's my relationship with this person and love and money and with myself and what things have not worked out. And we're heading into also the last full moon in Gemini, the day after or the day before Venus goes retrograde. So what were you doing around June 10th of 2021? And how has that come to a culmination around this time at the end of the year? What kinds of things have you completed? What kinds of things do you need to let go of? What portion of yourself in those programs and thoughts and ideas need to be dropped and dead on to move in the new direction? The planets are like, we're under this umbrella of the same stuff. It affects us the same way, but yet has a different kind of like correspondence individually. We're still under that same energy. So knowing this, the choice is yours, but the planets are kind of like forcing us to do this. So it's better to let go and let flow. And with all those swords I was getting, that's all air energy. And going back to the full moon in Gemini, Gemini is a mutable air sign. So it likes to see all perspectives of things and use its mind and logic and communication to be able to move through things and get past things. So that is Tipsy Tarot.
That was a wonderful presentation of Tipsy Tarot. Thank you very much, Juliet.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Johnny wanted to point out that Nancy Reagan liked tarot, and so does Rita.
Oh,
Rita is my mother. My mother is a tarot card reader, which is one of the things that is endearing to me about Juliet, is that, you know, my mom read tarot, she reads tarot. That's why she's on the show, I think.
Rita!
Something
Rita,
like
where's your cards?
You'd never met her, but you
no.
you know, it's funny. That's dead on. I don't. So what go with the flow, right? Just let it flow.
Let go and let things flow. And I actually read something the other day where it said something like, you don't have anxiety because you need to be in control. You have anxiety because you have anxiety, because you were never in control to begin with.
Ooh, shit.
Some heavy shit.
No,
I know,
you're never.
right?
There is no control. You have no control.
Yeah.
That's just the way life is. There's no control. You just go through life.
For a lot of people,
Good things happen. Bad things happen.
Thick signs like Maddie and me, or if you have a lot of fixed placements in your chart, I don't know about you guys if you have a lot of fixed placements or not, you might, but that can have a lot of, I need to be in control, I need to be in charge. And when you have that energy in your chart, anxiety is like a big thing that comes out. So when I read that, I was like, oh, like how you guys just reacted, like mind blown shit. I really am never in control.
You know, it's, as an Aries, I don't necessarily have to be in control, but I assure you I probably will be.
I love the energy that Aries bring in, because Aries is just very direct and very like high energy, and you know what you're getting. Like when you're dealing with an Aries, they're not hiding anything. They don't have ulterior motives. They're just, this is what it is. And they don't ask for permission. They just go and do it.
Yep.
I don't need your permission to go and get in a suicide pod. I'm just gonna go get in that suicide pod. Fuck you.
Well, you know, you might have that option in Switzerland. Suicide Pod passes legal review in Switzerland and may be available next year. A suicide capsule allowing fast and painless self-euthanasia has just passed Switzerland's legal review proceedings and is now legal for use in the country. The Sarco, a sarcophagus-like pod that slowly reduces oxygen and increases nitrogen until the person inside passes out peacefully, is expected to be ready for operation next year. The company behind the Sarco believes it to be a peaceful and painless alternative to assisted suicide that uses no controlled substances, in contrast to the current method of ingesting sodium pentobarbital. Once the person is passed, the pod, which is 3D printed and made from biodegradable wood-based material, is detached and can be used as a coffin, ready to lay them to rest.
No, I would want something that I could use over and over again. And like run out in parties. You know what I mean? It's like, come on down to Suicide Bob's.
Well,
get your suicide right here. And then you could like listen. One of these things is like what, 8, 9 grand, 10 grand?
Sorry, let's take a look. The contraption can be wheeled to anywhere the person wishes, decoupling them from the clinical setting and allowing them to pass in their ideal surroundings. It's a 3D printed capsule activated from the inside by a person intending to die. The machine can be towed anywhere for the death. It can be an idyllic outdoor setting or in the premises of an assisted suicide organization, for example. Wow. And that quote was from Philip Nitschke, the founder of Exit International.
Can I share something a little personal? Only because there's so many things that are like happening right now that I'm like, oh, it's connecting. So you were like Aries, suicide, whatever. Okay, so
I did not say those two things together.
no,
I like myself way too much.
Aries suicide.
What did I say?
You said Aries by suicide or Aries suicide. Yeah. Anyways,
I think I said come on to Bob's Suicide Emporium.
Yeah, you said that, but you also said Aries suicide, or I don't know. Just anyways, what I'm trying to get at is because yesterday I had this big message happen. Yesterday was December 14th, 12/14, and I have an ex who was an Aries who did commit suicide on December 14th. His birthday was 3/21, March 21st, and yesterday I looked at my bank account to see how much I had in there on December 14th, and I had exactly $321. 321, 12/14. And I just like, wow. And now we're talking about randomly suicide. And you said, I swear to God, you said Aries suicide.
You
so
segued
like,
right.
okay.
Yeah. You did segue right from our Aries conversation right into suicide.
Okay.
I see where she's going. There's a lot of things connecting for her right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I forgot what I said, so I just I look for segues. I'm not listening to anybody says. I listen to little things, so I can go and turn a corner.
Yeah, and I wasn't like upset or anything. I was just like, okay, maybe I should. I don't know.
But that like the way you says it, can I share something? I'm like, oh fuck! I'm like I stepped. We like the suicide jokes, like oh, like said uncle, fuck, fuck.
To operate it, the person is put into a comfortable bed inside the Sarco. The pod shuts, and then they get asked a number of questions before activating the suicide mechanism on their own time, which can be aborted should they wish to stop the proceedings. Swiss Info reports that the pod will then flood the inside with nitrogen and decrease the oxygen content from 21% all the way to 1% within 30 seconds. The individual supposedly feels a euphoric-like state as the brain becomes hypoxic before painlessly passing away. Due to the nature of the mechanism, there is no choking or hyperventilating that you would expect from a lack of oxygen, and the death is far removed from suffocation. The Sarco aims to provide a happy hypoxic death. Hypoxia means low oxygen. This is the same as when a plane depressurizes. The experience of being in a low oxygen environment can be intoxicating. Just ask scuba divers, writes Exit International.
Like, did they say happy suicide?
Yeah, they say you get to feel good on the way out.
Happy suicide? I feel that's like such. What?
I feel like people are going to abuse the shit out of this.
A happy hypoxic death.
I feel like people are going to use this to get high.
Well, apparently you're not going to have very long to do it.
Right. You got 28 seconds.
I mean, there is a really, really fine line between, within 30 seconds, you're gonna. I mean, they're really that. If you're not on that button, yeah. And if you're that goofy from being hypoxic, are you going to be able to pull the trigger to stop?
It also said that it's on wheels and they can deliver it to you.
And you can take it anywhere you want. Yeah.
Oh,
that brings the question. If you could arrange for your suicide in any location of your choosing.
I want one of those big hills that they land luge down and just turn me loose.
Like turn the machine on and then
let it go. The luge and just push it down.
Turn me loose, and when it starts to look like it's going bad, I'll flip the button.
So you could actually plan out your own funeral.
Yeah. Well, you can do that anyway.
Oh yeah. You can be present for your own funeral.
Well, yeah, you could pull the trigger right at go time.
Yeah.
Like right after the eulogy or
Yeah. Wow.
That's pretty cool. And it would be better because
how many people would do it and then chicken out?
Most.
Yeah, and you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna have a suicide party. You guys come. You can watch me off myself. It's gonna be a party. We're gonna have a good time. We're playing at DeVita.
And well, then you realize all these people care about you and are gonna be sad, and then you're like,
there was a show that I watched, and I don't know if it was Grace and someone threw a suicide party. Anyways, it was some show, and I feel like it might have been Grace and Frankie, like season 2, maybe.
I'm completely unfamiliar.
It's on Netflix. It's about these 2 older ladies. Their husbands were lawyers, and they divorced each of them because they were actually gay and fell in love. So then Grace and Frankie become best friends, but they're opposites and they hate each other. But they
isn't that like Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda?
Yes.
That?
Yep.
Okay.
It's really funny.
I've seen it go by. I haven't stopped on it yet.
Do they have creepy like lesbian scenes?
No, because they're not lesbian.
Then I'm not fucking interested. Well, if they have a suicide party, well, who didn't commit suicide? Jeffrey Epstein. You know who else?
That would be Masayuki.
R.I.P.
Yumura, creator of the NES and SNES, died at 78.
That man brought so much fucking joy
to the world.
To me personally.
Oh.
What did he? Who was this?
He was the creator of Nintendo.
Yumura.
Oh.
Lead architect.
Oh, I heard about
the Fame icon, also known as the Nintendo Entertainment System, and the Super Famicom, also known as the Super NES.
And what happened? He committed suicide?
No, he died.
He just passed away.
Just checking the chat. Just checking the chat again. Johnny said they should put a suicide machine on every corner.
Well, that would be interesting.
So there you go.
You can just pop in. The mark he left on the gaming industry and popular culture is incredible, or indelible. Well, probably incredible too. According to Oricon News, Yumura passed away on December 6th. He was 78. Ritsumeikan University, where Yumura became the director of game studies after retiring from Nintendo in 2004, announced passing earlier on the day that this article popped up. Originally, Yumura worked at Sharp, selling photocell tech to various companies, including his future employer, Nintendo. Once joining the company, he worked with Gunpei Yoki to integrate the photocell technology into electronic light gun games. He would go on to work.
That was one of my favorite. Was the cunt. I love that cunt. There's nothing better than that. I pull out my gun and I just
That might
swing
be the
around
German
and
version.
play with, because I love. There's nothing more fun than playing the cunt.
I believe you mean duck hunt.
The cunt. That's what I said. The cunt.
There's an English version of that game called Duck Hunt.
Oh, I was playing the French version.
You might have had the German version.
The cunt. Schweinkunt. Sorry, go ahead.
He would go on to work on plug-and-play consoles like Nintendo's Color TV game. But everything changed in 1981 with a single phone call. President Yamauchi told me to make a video game system, one that could play games on cartridges. Yamura told Matt Alt in an interview published last year in Kotaku. He always liked to call me after he'd had a few drinks, so I didn't think much of it. I just said, "Sure thing, boss," and hung up. It wasn't until the next morning he came up to me sober and said, "That thing we talked about, you're on it." And that hit me that he was serious. So, wow.
One of my fondest memories in life.
Yeah,
was,
I would love to have a job where, like, sometimes the boss told you to do shit and was just too drunk to remember it. That's how anybody that ever worked for a full-line studio would be treated. I guarantee.
Say, you already have that job.
I remember when I was a kid and I used to go to my cousin's house. He had a Nintendo 64, and I remember I used to love playing Mario Kart. I mean, I still do, but I'm just playing.
Did you play with the con?
It's different than, like, if you use the Wii or whatever. Nintendo 64.
Did you play with the con though?
No.
Have you
ever played on an original Nintendo or a Super Nintendo system?
Oh, Super Nintendo. I remember Super Nintendo.
Well,
you don't remember the original Nintendo with the con?
I actually got this, like, original Nintendo game system, or I don't know, maybe it wasn't Nintendo, but it was like an old game system thing, and it had like a bunch of old games like Duck Hunt and whatever on it.
That sounds like Nintendo.
Yeah, they were like these paper things, and you put it in. I don't know. It was weird. This was like years ago when I got it, but I don't know. But I remember my Game Boy.
Was
use Game Boys or no?
Was your Game Boy?
We had the original. I had the original Game Boy that didn't have a backlight. If you didn't have light in the car, you couldn't play that shit.
That's right.
Right. So the Game Boy that you had, was it heavy or was it light?
It was the big bulky one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Literally, you could beat someone to death with those fucking things.
But they had the newer version where it would flip open.
Yeah. No. You had the original. How'd you get your hands on that?
What do you mean? I was born in the time zone. That's why everybody had one.
Huh.
Was yours color?
Yeah, but there were black and white ones, but like I got it when I was a little bit older than like the other kids.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't like allowed to.
Ed, you were late enough to the party that you had the camera that would pop into it, or no?
No, there was no camera.
Do you remember that it would go in where the game cartridge went, and there was a little camera on it, and you could.
That was like when
take like 3-week pictures, and that was about it.
I didn't know you could do the Game Boy.
I remember that was a thing, but that's not what. So I never got one. My older brother got one for his birthday. The original Game Boy, black and white, ginormous, no backlight. And I remember every time anytime he did anything wrong, like if he didn't do any of his chores or his grades to slip in, first thing mom would do is take that shit away from him.
Ah, that's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my stepson had a Game Boy, and we spent a lot of time taking that away.
And were you playing it yourself?
Spent a lot of time taking that away.
and my wife spent a lot of time playing Super Mario.
I would get my Game Boy taken away a lot too, like if I didn't do something, or like, oh, oh my God, now that we're talking about this, do you guys remember hit clips? I mean, you guys are older than me, so it wasn't probably nothing you got, but they were like these little things like this, and you get like a portion of a song and you plug it into your hit clip. Like
I
you
remember that. Why do I remember
like,
that?
Hit me baby one more time, and you'd be like,
That's
oh,
why I remember it. All right.
yeah,
Nah.
those were so cool.
I had my first gaming system was an Atari 2600.
Yeah. Except
Uh,
ours was from pennies. And it was or Sears or something, and it wasn't the Atari brand, but it played all the Atari games.
Yeah, gotcha.
Do you remember Outlaw? The game where the two little stick men looked like cowboys shot at each other? Yeah.
Yes.
And then there was
They
Indy
also they had a
500.
game for the computer that was much like Outlaw called High Noon.
Okay.
And it was very, very similar. It was, very square-looking men
Yes,
pointing very square-looking guns at each other that shot square bullets.
Yep.
And then it made a funny noise, and you fell down. Johnny has been at my house as a child playing that game.
Yeah.
Wow.
That and Skate or Die.
Skate or Die.
There was also Asteroids was good.
Asteroid.
On the 2600.
Yes.
My best friend had a Sega. You guys remember Sega?
I had a Sega.
The Sega Genesis. Yep.
Yeah.
My neighbor across the
great
street
Sega.
had a program. My neighbor across the street had a program called Sam, and all it did was repeat back to you what you typed into it.
Oh yeah.
And it was just the most fun. We would have it just say the dumbest fucking shit. So I think
it sounds like the type of thing that you would
fuck you,
abuse.
homo. Fuck. Ha ha ha. Fuck. Commodore 64, baby. Johnny remembers. I knew he would.
I have a lot of fond memories with that Nintendo. Man, that guy.
Yeah.
It's funny. You don't realize. Like, I wish we could take a second and acknowledge the accomplishments. Like, I wonder if that guy ever just took a second to just realize how much he meant in the lives of so many people.
I would hope.
I would
hope you realize.
You gotta realize how many thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of kids woke up on Christmas morning or birthday or whatever to something that he created that just brought so much joy. That's a really cool mark to leave in the world.
It reminds me because my mind has been blown for about a couple weeks now. My father-in-law was on the research and development team, like the team that created. Like somebody had the idea that like maybe you could, communicate the internet, through coax cable.
Okay.
And he was on the team that invented
basically
cable modem.
Yeah. Wow.
The cable modem.
That's impressive.
Right? That's that's fucking Manhattan Project fucking level shit.
Yeah.
That's changed the fucking world.
Absolutely.
And I was at a Christmas. I'm at a Christmas party. It's my own Christmas party, and like I've never heard this man talk more than 15 sentences at a time. But he's talking to one of his in-laws, like one of his, I think it's his sister's husband, and I'm like listening to, and the guy's like kind of prying out of him because the guy knows him, works in, and I'm like, oh, what? And he's like, he's like, yeah, when we figured out, and I'm like, wait, you guys, you invented cable modems? He's like, yeah.
How about it?
Fuck.
Well, it's funny. You never know who you're talking to. When I was in high school, there was a guy, and I don't even remember what brought it up. And one day in class, and he was kind of a joker, so you never knew how to take him. One day in class, he's like, "Well, yeah, my dad invented squeeze ketchup," and we were like, "Yeah, okay." So the next day, he brought in a stack of patents and showed us where his dad invented squeeze ketchup. In Quaker State oil, it's got the little straw that comes up through it, so it doesn't glug 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 when you pour it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his dad too.
Wow.
He also held a patent to change the lid on the squeeze ketchup thing so that relish would fit through it. So, like, he shut us all down. It was like, oh, I guess he did, didn't he?
That's cool.
This
Yeah,
term,
he
this
worked
just
for a
reminds
plastic
me
company.
of,
Huh?
this reminds me of us Mean Girls when they're like, her dad created toaster strudel.
But it's funny because you never ever know who you're talking to. You can so many of those things are created by just some schlub that worked at a company that did that, and they're the people. I mean, I've known a guy. His dad came up with the blade that cuts Kevlar, the uncuttable fabric.
Yeah.
I met a guy that worked on the team that developed Kevlar.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's like we live in an interesting time in an interesting place.
Yeah.
Where you can just bump into these people.
Weird.
I was walking in Back Bay a couple of years ago, and do you guys know the actor Jason Segel?
Nope.
He's in like I Met Your Mother or How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was looking at. I didn't know who he was at the time. He was really famous at the time, but like I was like walking, and he kept like looking at me and smiling at me, and I was like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And then I was like, "Oh my god, that was Jason Segel!"
That's
That
funny.
dude hung like a bear too.
Yeah.
He did
That's all I
Full
got.
Frontal. What was the movie he did the Full Frontal in?
Muppets.
Stop it.
No, it was before that. There might have been a puppet in it though. There was another. There was another movie he did with a puppet that was actually like a Muppet puppet.
The Happy Time Murders.
I don't remember, but whatever that movie. I think that was the movie that he did.
Wait, is he in the movie where they have to so and so make a porno or something? No, that's not him.
No, that's.
Oh, Zack and Miri Make a Porno with Seth
Yeah.
Rogen.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
that was
it was Forgetting Sarah
Cameron
Marshall.
Diaz.
It was what?
Was he the one that was in?
What movie had the dudes that were in a Neil Diamond covered band called Diamonds in the Rough?
Wait, I know this.
That was Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah. So I think that's the movie that he actually did Full Frontal in. Like, because isn't he the ex and he like stands up out of the tub or something? But it was like a big thing. Like he did Full Frontal in this director's cut, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's hung like a bear." Oh, the guy's like 6.5 feet tall. You know who else is hung like a bear? Fozzie?
Me.
No, the leading women's swimmer for the University of Pennsylvania.
I've heard that, and it's. I'm glad you finally found a way to bring us around to that story because.
What?
Here we go. We've got more news for you, folks. That's right. The trans swimmer crushes women's records, is likely to win NCAA titles. So there she is. Transgender Penn swimmer Leah Thomas, a biological male, has been crushing women's records and will likely take home the title at the NCAA championships in March. Prior to joining the Penn women's swim team, Leah competed for the men's team for 3 seasons as Will Thomas. The Akron Zippy Invitational over the weekend. I need a minute. That's good.
The Zippy Invitational, is that what you need?
Yeah. At the Akron Zippy Invitational over the weekend, Thomas won 1,650 by a whopping 38 seconds over his teammate, setting Penn records along with meet and pool records. Wow.
I have a problem with this.
I agree.
There are literally there's two articles out there with girls who are on his team. I mean, her team. I don't want to hurt
Right.
his feelings.
No, you-
They're on her team and are crying because they're so happy that their teammate is doing so well.
In the 500 free on Friday night, Thomas won the race by 12 seconds and won the 200 free by 7 seconds. While Thomas
Dominating.
While Thomas set pen records, he did not beat current NCAA women's swimming records in the same events. And wow, I think that should have been a she. But anyway,
Well, we're reading from Breitbart, so we don't want to accidentally pass along their patriarchal misogyny. But
the funny thing is, they flip back and forth. I think that's what bugs me the most about this.
Because I'm like, I keep going, like, who are they talking about now? But they've been talking about,
and
they should be just using the they pronoun
or she.
No, just they.
No, she would be correct because
it's they. We don't know if she's a she.
She's living as a woman.
She hasn't. What does she say? She'll call me she. I don't know that.
If she's trans, that means she was born male, transitioned to female.
Oh, you know.
She's living as a woman. She's competing as a woman.
The problem that I have with this is that
she's competing as a human, and she is dominating.
When you
get into this,
pronouns, it's typically for non-binary people who don't identify with either or gender. But she would be a she, her, unless she says I go by she and they. I don't know. But
I feel like
he says he looks like Jason Mewes. He kind of doesn't like they look like Jason Mewes.
I feel like when it comes to sports, there needs to be a different way of doing this.
Yeah, there's a biology at work that
there's a biological difference that you're tapping into with sports in particular. That when you have the biological,
I'm gonna jump in and say you're actually wrong, just because I've done a lot of research on this, and my brother is transgender, and so when people who are born one sex but identify as a different gender, they can still compete in what gender they identify as, because typically when people are doing these sports or something, normally they're on the hormones. So when you're taking hormones, you have to take hormone blockers, which stop so this person was born male, they're taking these hormones that block the testosterone. So they don't have that extra whatever that men are typically born with. They're taking in that estrogen. And so that completely stops all of that right there. So this person has every right, as I would in a women's swimming team.
I would venture to say that it doesn't block or completely stop. Mainly because I don't know if you noticed in the screen share. And I'm going to put it back up.
If you've had 20 years to develop a male musculature.
And she trained as a male swimmer for the past 3 seasons.
I saw that.
So she trained as a male swimmer for the past 3 seasons. And if you made the Penn swim team, I guarantee that at least 4 to 6 seasons before that, she probably trained as a male swimmer.
Yeah.
So if I train 10 seasons as a male and then I start taking hormones and want to participate as a female, I really think that there's an unfair advantage there.
Do you have that article? Do you have that article about that transgender woman who joined the college football team?
The other thing you got to think about too is this: say you were born and
no, there isn't one, because you can't you're not going to find it because there isn't one. There is no woman trying to become a man that joins the fucking football team.
Think about, Mike. Think about this. Say this, she was on the men's swimming team for 10 years, training professionally, and then transitioned to a woman. But this person, she loves swimming and she identifies as a woman, feels as a woman, and is a woman, right?
I
How
understand that.
unfair would it be to be like, well, because you were born male, even though you feel this way and you love this sport and you dedicated your life to the sport, you can no longer participate.
Move to the we're going to stand on pool deck, move to the next block over to the girl who was born a girl that has trained for the past 18 years of her life to be at the top of her game and maybe get her shot to go to the Olympics. And now she fucking loses because somebody who trained for the past 18 years as a man and started taking some pills and decided to compete as a woman. I get it. I get that you should be able to compete for the love of the sport, but I also think that we need to take into account that parallel only works so far. When you're training as a male swimmer, you're training for and at the level he was training, he's blowing records out of the water just walking in the door. And I agree. Yes, it's great that a trans person can participate and live and do, but I'm thinking about the girls who are on the blocks next to him who now have their dreams shattered because maybe their
Those bitches need to toughen up. That's what they need to fucking do.
maybe their scholarship was on the line and somebody walked in with, you know, a bit of a unfair advantage.
I think so. Taking that same idea, looking at MMA. So there is a trans woman, Foxy, I think was her name.
Yeah,
Again,
talked about this.
What
he does MMA.
20 plus years as a man, and then transitioned, is again dominating with this incredible with even if you are able to stunt the growth at 25, you've still been developing. Like, I am 6 feet, 300 pounds. I deadlift 500 plus. I bench 300 plus. If I transitioned now, I'm going to retain most of that.
And I'm not going to smack you up tomorrow because you're a woman. You know, it's
when you're doing MMA though, they're putting you in your weight rank and all of that. And they're not going to put you up against somebody that's completely out of, this person's won 20 matches and you've only had 3 fights. We're going to put you in with this person right here and hope that they don't. That's not how that works.
No, they literally did though, didn't they? Wasn't there a story about some woman got her skull crushed?
They put that person in the same weight class. They put him in the same weight class, and that woman got destroyed. And it was, and that's
on the coach then, because the coach shouldn't be putting their fighter in with someone who's has won all these fights, and like, you're just starting out. You can't. You got to put it in not just your weight class, but your rank as well.
But that's what I mean. Like, there is this gray area that we're getting into that I feel like there needs to be a way to level the playing field and make it fair across the board so that you don't have, so you have fairness, especially in sports.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, I don't know what form that would take.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like something needs to change, because you're getting into this place where that's straight up dangerous. When you would not want to put me into a weight class of a 300-pound woman. You just don't. There's no, that would not be fair. Even if I don't have necessarily MMA training, I would feel comfortable stepping in tomorrow, because I don't have, I just, there's an advantage that I'm going to have walking in the door. And same thing, and there's powerlifters. There are trans powerlifters that have done the same thing, that are just shattering records. And I feel like this is where that thing needs a different governing body. I just don't know what form that would take. I would love to see if we get to a place where I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know what the point I'm making is. I would like to see something that could make it fair across the board.
Yeah.
Whether that would be creating a new league of sports, or
So separate but equal.
yeah, like if I like,
It's a
what
slippery
if
slope.
having men's and women's? What if there was a third one where it was universal?
Cis men, cis women sports, and then you're trans male, trans female.
Right.
But then what about the non-binary people?
No,
Or
let them all have their own league. There's not enough of them to
What
break them
about-
up into.
what about people who are born? I don't know what the proper term is, but like, what about people who are born with both of the chromosomes?
Oh,
So-
hermaphrodite.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's like, I don't know. Like, what about
But
that?
what if there was like WWF had an intergender champion where men and women could wrestle each other and there was no rules or weight class or gender differences, something like that, where you could have a men's, a women's, and then an intergender or non-gender specific, something that's more in the middle that you can fit into, that's more universal, that has neither advantage nor disadvantage, and everyone can compete in the middle.
What about this though? What about, okay, so back to the swimmer, right? I'm kind of circling back a little bit, but I'm gonna okay. So this person was born male, trained professional as a extremely professional swimmer with men, transitioned very late in life into female.
Mhm.
What about the people who transitioned as young as the age of 4? What about that?
Now, if you well, see, now there's a difference. If you transition at
Well, then you prosecute their parents for fucking child abuse.
But-
is what you
but-
fucking do.
But she does have a valid point. If you transition at 4 versus transitioning at 24, or Bruce Jenner,
Yeah.
Right.
you're going to have different biological markers. The 4-year-old is not going to have the same levels of testosterone based muscular growth as, say, Bruce Jenner would have.
If
then
you suspend puberty, then that's different.
'cause
So
then
maybe the
when
markers
you see
become
these kids, they block the puberty and they started as whatever gender they, relate to. But like, so with that being said, right, so what makes the okay age mark for you to be able to compete with the women versus the intergender?
So then maybe it shouldn't be. See, now
How clean does a dick have to be for you to suck it?
So then perhaps
It's only dirty for the first couple sucks.
That's true.
Wait a minute. Where have I heard that before?
Wait, hold on. What were you gonna say?
Ozark.
What were you gonna say?
I want to steer out of
Instead
this. This isn't something I want to fucking talk about.
Instead of having the qualifications being male versus female, if the qualifications had to do with a range of estrogen or a range of testosterone,
or a range of ability,
right, a more range of ability, that would be more fair. You could lump people together based off of where their hormone levels are, and then age and weight class or things like that. But
Wouldn't
that
your
way,
hormone levels still equal out at the same though? Even if you transition late in life, your hormones would still be just the same, wouldn't they? Regardless of the base level.
they might. Someone,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, clearly we're not going to solve this here on the Media Virus tonight.
But
what we are going to solve is a time issue that we're having. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take us into break. We're going to come back and do some TikToks. You can reach us in the meantime at 1-646-VIRUS-01. That's 1-646-VIRUS-01. We'll be headed into break, and we'll be back right after this.
I like that outro. I do.
Sorry, we are running hard long.
I didn't even realize it was that late. Damn.
I'm so in. I was like, I never get to talk like this on this show. So I was like, I'm into this conversation. I like getting in. I like getting into like deep talks to be like, what? Like, how do we get there? I want to know.
You know what the difference is? The doc's not on tonight. See, Connie always says that the men won't let you talk. Don't buy that shit. We let you talk all night.
Right? Here we 3 men, 1 lady, and you talk
I've
just as much
wanted
as
to
any of the
interrupt
rest
you
of us.
many fucking times.
I got a lot
right
of
now.
dominant. I got a really big dominant personality too.
That's okay. I mean, I think we had good conversation. I thought we were getting
I
to a
was
point
so
where it
into
was
this. Do
fruitless.
we have to stop? Can we keep going?
It was we were to a point where we weren't going to solve anything. We were going right back over the same
It's
thing.
such a good talk.
Yeah,
though.
and we did need to
It
move
is.
on at some point. It's late.
It is. But this is what I like.
We get into a bunch of what ifs. Like, what if we had the gender like reassigned like right at birth? Like, well, you know what? Then those people should be prosecuted. I don't even know what the fucking like. That seems disgusting to me. There's so much. It just seems all fucking weird. I want my child to be able to at least have the choice to create children.
You can still have kids.
Okay. But I can't. It's
You're showing your age.
oh no, I'm old.
Right?
I'm old. But listen, I'm not. I don't hate. I can't. Like
You don't understand. You haven't done your
I
research.
get. I listen. I can understand a woman wanting to be a man because of all the extra quality we enjoy. But you know,
We get to walk around late at night.
That extra
We can
19
walk
cents an
past,
hour is.
We can walk past vans without fear of being thrown inside.
Yeah.
You can go to 7-Eleven at 1:00 in the morning.
You can also die on the job or a year after you retire. That's 94% of on the job deaths are men.
That's because y'all don't take care of yourselves. That's why. You don't see the doctor when you're supposed to.
We often do a lot of stupid shit too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've got TikToks to get to. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back to we're going to head into our C block where we're going to do some TikToks. We ready?
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Because I do have to get to
Send
bed.
me TikToks, man.
And we're back on the Media Virus Podcast with our C block. And as you know, when we C block, we do it with TikTok.
That was clever. Look at you.
Hey, that's why I get paid the big bucks here.
That's right.
An extra more 19 cents than I get.
An extra 19 cents.
All right. So, as we always do, we're going to go through the TikToks. And
Did I send this one? I think I did.
I believe all the TikToks are yours this week.
Okay.
I
So
didn't send anything.
We're ranking the best and worst races from around the world and putting them into a tier. Now these next two races I can barely tell apart, so we're just going to lump them together. Don't tell me about they have different histories and cultures. I really don't care. They're the same. The Henry Ford Health Systems 200 and the Vetnik Company World 200 are the same race. They might as well be D tier. We're ranking the best and worst races from around the world.
That's pretty
and putting
good.
them in.
Who sent these in?
Who sent them in? Come on.
Looks like these are all Maddie.
These are all Matt's.
Okay.
This one
That
is.
one's
I
pretty
thought
good.
that was good though.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, no,
That
I
was
was
good.
like, what the and
I
then
love the
like,
swerve. I do like being swerved.
So this next one is currently unavailable.
Oh man.
oh, they probably either they took it
The
down. Or
really
they
funny ones do get taken down.
I bet it because it was Maddie's that he chose. It probably got taken down for being too inappropriate.
That's a good point. See, this is why I save mine, and then I send you guys the video instead of the link.
Mm.
I don't even know which one we're talking about. So
What the fuck is this?
I'm not.
Again, we're fucking late for school! Timmy, go grab your sister. No, not by that! No, there's no time for cereal! Here, we're doing granola bars. No time for granola bars! Fuck it, we'll just have to do breakfast at lunch and move lunch to dinner. Everyone grab a coffee, because dinner's happening at 3 in the morning. Get your ass up, you lazy son of a bitch! You're changing your own diaper! No, you can't have milk on Taco Tuesday. Because it's not Mexican. Now eat your Doritos. No, I don't have a favorite child. I do have a least favorite, and it's the youngest. Come on, make me want to be your mom! I'm telling Melissa about your wet dreams! Give me back my phone before you see my clit. I love that Ellen. She's not a bad lesbian. Fuck! I've been washing dishes in my sleep again! We're fucking late for school!
Wow, that was
Every morning.
that was a lot.
You slam down the baby like that? Anytime there's the slamming of a baby, I just giggle.
When you choke slam a child on your way to breakfast,
That's when you know you're really parenting.
that's when you know you're a mom.
And this next one, you guys have probably seen this guy. He writes children's books.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Let's check him out.
The day of the very big race. All of the cars have a smile on their face. The media is here. Corporate sponsors are too. Black car, white car, and yellow car too. Red cars built the track. They've always been here. Brown car's parents don't approve of his career. Yellow car is the smartest. His engine's a masterpiece. Black car is worried he'll get stopped by police. White car always wins. He isn't concerned. Now it's time for the rubber to burn. The crowd is cheering with all of their might, but the cars have all stopped. Something isn't quite right. They're all speaking calmly. They've figured out who will win. The media, the government, and the corporations. Race Wars is available on Amazon. Today is the day of the very...
Wow.
I feel like I know exactly what rabbit hole Matt went down this week.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sounds like your For You page is this woman I fucking love.
All right. Let's see if we can get her back to 0.
On point.
This woman is she? It's called listening. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think I just experienced positive mansplaining. So I open up the fridge and I see egg, and I'm like, wet. So I ask the kids, I'm like, did you guys leave this egg here? And they're like, nope. So I'm like, only one more suspect, my husband. But I want to give my man the benefit of the doubt. So I text the boys, and I'm like, why egg? And my one buddy immediately goes, oh, you had a second carton. Yeah, he must have gotten down to the last egg, and instead of leaving it there to be all off balance the next time someone picked it up or take up a bunch of extra space, he just put it there as the priority egg. It's just like fronting at the supermarket when employees make sure that the quickest expire items are front and the longer lasting items don't get used first. And I'm just like, that is exactly what happened. Priority egg. Like, he mansplained that so perfectly. What else are they doing that makes sense and we're just not asking? So...
Or listening!
Yes.
Or listening. Oh my God, it makes so much sense when they fucking explain something. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Jesus Christ.
I have literally done that priority egg.
Maddie,
I didn't know that's what it was called.
she was making fun of mansplaining. She even put it in her comment. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was like, whatever. She was making fun of it.
There's five ways to tell if your homie is gay.
All right.
I feel like this is going to make a left really quickly.
And I feel like I'm a little nervous.
Welcome to Tree Fitty 25. We're here the top 5 ways to tell if your homie is gay. Reason number 1. Is his favorite artist Lil Nas X? If your homie's favorite song is Call Me By Your Name, then he might be gay. Reason number 2. Does he constantly quote Brokeback Mountain? If he's constantly saying things like, I wish I knew how to quit you, or I'm going fishing with Heath Ledger, then he might be gay. Reason number 3. Does he act sus? When you and your homie kiss, does he take off his socks? If so, he might be gay. Reason number 4. Your homie's mouth tastes like someone else's penis. then that could mean he's gay. Reason number 5. When inspecting your homie's butthole, has it increased in diameter? If your homie's butthole is increased in diameter or circumference, that could mean he's been spreading with someone else. And that's the top 5 ways to tell if your homie might be gay.
I thought that was all useful information.
Yeah, it's useful information. I got it.
That's the kind of thing.
It's pretty useful.
That's right.
Wow. So I did have a couple more things that should probably come up on the show tonight. That can wait. That can definitely wait. Where is?
I wish I sent in TikToks. I never do. I always send TikToks as DMs. I never send them to the media address.
So in New Zealand, they've come up with a brilliant way to end, teen
Smoking?
Yeah, teen smoking specifically.
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand to end smoking with a lifetime ban on cigarettes for youth. Wellington, New Zealand. New Zealand's government believes it has come up with a unique plan to end tobacco smoking. A lifetime ban on tobacco use for those aged 14 or younger. Under a new law, the government announced Thursday and plans to pass next year a minimum age to buy cigarettes that would keep rising year after year. That means, in theory, at least 65 years after the law takes effect, shoppers could still buy cigarettes, but only if they could prove that they were at least 80 years old.
Can you imagine being like fucking 60 years old and having pop? Come on, you gotta buy me a pack of smokes. You gotta like go down to an old folks home.
Come on, you old bastard.
Or even worse, you got a 20-year-old cashier carding you at 80.
Yeah. You don't look 78 to me.
Oh, that would suck.
I have mixed feelings about this. So
I can appreciate the approach, like what they're trying to end result. I can appreciate that. But wow, that's a.
This is New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I still say it was here, right? So, like, we all agree smoking is bad. They put all these toxins and stuff in the cigarettes, right? But I know this is New Zealand, but what about the Native Americans? They smoked tobacco, or they still smoke tobacco as like a spiritual kind of thing. I don't know exactly what, but I know it's something spiritual. So, say in New Zealand, I don't know if the native New Zealanders, I have no idea. But what about that? And like in America, they made it illegal for indigenous people to even practice their own spirituality, like with saging and peyote and all this other shit, because America's bullshit, racism crap. But like, I don't know what it's like in New Zealand, but that's why I have mixed feelings about it. Like, yes, smoking is bad, but I don't know.
For starters, on reservation, they can practice.
Yeah, since 1970.
So on reservation, they can practice. The downside, and I think it's a downside all around with some of these rules on reservation. Good friend of mine works in the federal system as a contract administrator for safety on government contracts. And a lot of government contracts go to what are referred to as DBEs in the industry. It stands for disadvantaged business enterprise. Minorities basically can, that also MBEs, minority business enterprises, can apply for this status, and they get preference on contracts when they bid. So all things being equal, as a white guy, I can bid the lowest with the best plan to get the job done, but a minority could be awarded the contract for a higher price with not so great of a plan because they're not a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a couple of problems there. One being, when you're working with a system where you want to buy the best thing at the absolute lowest price, you're walking a slippery slope already. But then when you introduce a factor that says you don't have to take the most qualified guy with the best price, you have to pick the guy who we're going to give an advantage to, who might not know as much and is going to make you pay more. It gets a little dicey. So the thing that I'm going to bring up is when you get on reservation and you go in for a safety inspection as a federal inspector on this contract that says you have to follow these rules, or I'm going to send the enforcement body in to take care of it. The enforcement body's OSHA, who doesn't have jurisdiction on reservation. So when they see a guy in there who's not wearing the safety glasses, who doesn't have the safety apparel on, and he's willy-nilly doing the job kind of half-ass and could be doing something dangerous, and it gets pointed out, hey, you could lose a man, he could die, and you could hurt somebody later on in the process if that thing isn't built the way that it's supposed to be. And they say, you know, that's great, but you're on reservation, you're meaningless here. We'll see you next time you come back. And they do as they please. So there's good and bad in the system, and I don't agree that it's... I don't agree with all that's there. Safety is something that needs
Do you
to
think
be
the
looked at a
Native
little
Americans
differently.
believe that the fucking birds aren't real?
You're dying to go there, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's surveillance, really just surveillance equipment for the
I think they believe that the birds are real.
What do you think, Juliet? What do you think?
I know
Do you
there's a
think that-
conspiracy theory of like the birds aren't real and it's really the government watching us.
Yeah, no, she knows.
I-
Big Daddy, you understand that, right?
I hear
think
what
the
you're
birds are
saying.
real.
I
But-
think if that's what they thought, there wouldn't be totem poles. Like, there's a lot of
he's
birds on
talking about
totem
the
poles.
bird. I think he's. Wait, are you talking about the bird conspiracy where there's the birds that actually fly around? Is actually
Yeah, they're just. It's just. Yeah, it's just
He's not talking about
surveillance
totem
equipment.
poles.
And the pandemic is only an excuse to change the batteries.
That's right. Everybody knows that.
I don't.
So we all stay inside while they change
The
the batteries.
birds. I believe the birds. are
Wow.
real, but the government is definitely fucked up, and they do a lot of control and power and play a lot of games, and we're all fucking pawns of this bullshit ass capitalism crap. But I think the birds are real.
Okay. If you find somebody who doesn't, we'd love to have them on the show. They could give us a call, 1-646-VIRUS-01, and we would definitely put them on because I would love to talk to somebody who is involved with this movement.
We should do this like Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos style. And
Well,
just
yeah,
put
I-
ads out. Like, do you believe that birds aren't real? Call us at 646-VIRUS-01.
You guys watch the American Horror Story, the season, the like political season.
I haven't.
They do something throughout that season where the birds are the government watching them, and they keep having this van drive by, and then the birds. Yeah, there's this whole thing.
Dude, whatever. Listen, let me tell you something. I'll tell you this right now. You can call me fucking crazy all you want. You can call me crazy all the fuck you want. Whenever you see a fucking van, I promise you, there's a bird nearby.
And when you don't see a van,
There's
at
also a
least
bird.
5 birds nearby.
There's a bird nearby. Wherever you are,
There's a bird,
there's a bird
and they're
nearby.
watching you.
Speaking of things that we all agree on,
That's
here's
why the
the
eyes
chem-
are on the side of their heads.
here's the chemistry behind marijuana's skunky scent. Scientists have finally sniffed out the molecules behind marijuana's skunky aroma. The heady bouquet that wafts off fresh weed is actually a cocktail of hundreds of fragrant compounds. The most prominent floral, citrusy, and piney overtones come from common class of molecules called terpenes, says analytical chemist Ian Oswald of Abstracts Tech, a private company in Tustin, California that develops terpenes for cannabis products. But the source of that funky ganja note has been hard to pin down. Now, an analysis of the first to identify a group of sulfur compounds in cannabis that account for this skunk-like scent has been reported on November 12th. Oswald and his colleagues had a hunch that the culprit may contain sulfur, a stinky element found in hops and skunk spray. So the team started by rating the skunk factor of flowers harvested from more than a dozen varieties of cannabis sativa on a scale from 0 to 10, with 10 being the most pungent. Next, the team created a chemical fingerprint of airborne components that contributed to each cultivar's unique scent using gas chromatography, mass spectroscopy, and a sulfur chemiluminescence detector. This is some serious research.
Let me explain how this went. Ready?
There's some.
What do you think? What do you think makes this smell this way?
Dude, let's get a machine. Do you want to get it? All right, so we'll get the fucking machine, right? And we'll smoke a bunch of weed. And we'll blow the weed into the machine. Dude, it'll tell us like why it smells like that. I think the sulfur. It kind of, you know how sulfur stinks real bad, and weed stinks. I think I'm hungry for oatmeal cookies.
Grossed out cookies. Oh,
Oatmeal.
Yeah, yep.
the weed, I noticed whenever I smell weed, I can tell when it's haze because it has a lemon scent to it. So if you smell
The
weed
citrus notes.
and it has that like lemony smell, it's fucking haze. I'm telling you, because
Indicas do tend to have a citrusy note.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I can just tell when it's haze. I'm like, this smells like lemon. Is it haze? Purple haze?
Anything that's got haze in it is going to be a indica heavy blend.
Plus in Boston, people like usually have like lemon haze too, so there's that. Or Granddaddy Perp was one of my favorite strands when I used to smoke.
What are you thinking?
It's so weird to me to hear like strains now.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
Just be like, here's some weed, and now it's like way better than it was when you guys were growing up.
Like there was just, when I started smoking weed, there was just weed.
Yeah, there weren't options. It was whatever the fuck the guy gave you.
Shake.
When I was in high school, we used to smoke just like Reggie's because I guess that's what everybody had. But now it's like that was Reggie's because when you smoke whatever was in high school, it was Reggie's weed. We had the fucking seeds and the stems and all that bullshit in it. But now
there's variety and flavors, and it's so weird. It's awesome that this is where it's gone.
I can't.
But it kind of pisses me off at the same time. You know, like I couldn't enjoy that, and now I'm a professional, and I can't enjoy it.
Wait, why?
So like,
it's legal. It's recreational.
Not here. It's not.
You can walk out and fucking smoke.
Not here.
Because I'm a nurse. There's a lot of sticky areas.
There's certain industries that
doctors prescribe the sticky icky. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that?
I work in an industry that's regulated by the federal government. I can't.
Fuck the government, man. Smoke it anyways. It's a natural healing property from the fucking earth. They just want to control us, man. That's
the most I can do is CBD, and I do enjoy CBD.
You should get down some Delta 8, motherfucker.
I don't smoke any. Oh, I did actually last week, but like I don't smoke anymore because it's bad for my anxiety. I did smoke last week though, and I was actually really goofy and I was good, so I might stop smoking again. But I used to be a really big fucking pothead. I mean, really, like I was always smoking a blunt.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yo, the first time I took when I had edibles, I didn't know first of all, I was like, I don't know, 18 maybe. My friends made pot brownies. We smoked a blunt and they were like, oh, we made these pot brownies. You want to try them? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try them. And I had one and I was like, I have the munchies. So I ate another one. And then I ate another one. And I had one more. And then we smoked another blunt. And then I stood up and I was like,
you thought
it fucking hit me, like smacked me in the face. And I was like, oh.
You thought you stood up.
Right, exactly.
Spinning. I was like, I need to go home. So I went to my ex's house, and it was like 5 minutes down the street. We get home, and I'm like, I really don't feel good right now. And I was like, everything's spinning. And he's like, close your eyes. I'm like, everything's still spinning with my fucking eyes closed. And then I'm like, I think I'm gonna throw up. We go to the bathroom, and I'm like hyperventilating, and I start like shaking, like, and I can't stop. So he thinks I'm having a seizure. So he wakes up his mom and his grandmother, who just came from Dominican Republic, and they're like, oh, here, smell this Vicks and Hennessy, and it's gonna help you. And then they gave me water with Vicks in it. And, and they were like, you need to drink this. So I drank the water with the Vicks, and I sniffed the Hennessy Vicks, and it actually helped. But then the next day I had to call out of work for about 5 days because I had the worst hangover I've ever had in my life, and I thought I was gonna fucking die.
That was the Vicks and the Hennessy, by the way.
Yeah. Not supposed to drink that Vicks, but you know, it's the Puerto Rican cure.
Yeah. For everything.
For everything.
Yeah, Puerto Rican and Dominicans, they swear.
Yep.
Just rub Vicks all over your face, you'll be good. You got cancer, put Vicks on. It's
Instead
true.
of broken arm, put some Vicks. Ponte la Vicks. Ponte la Vicks. Ahí está. Ponte la Vicks.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All right, well, you know what, man? I think that's I think we're good for the night,
That's a
man.
good place to end.
Right on. Mike, you want to go ahead and
I can do
bring us
that.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Media Virus podcast, and we're taking it home. If you're joining us on the stream, thank you for doing so. I'm Professor Mike Latoros on behalf of my good friends here, Juliet Everett, Stanley McFadden, and our fearless leader, Maddie Rockdeff. I bid you adieu.
Our
What? Once I start doing this, you got to. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Professor Mike Latoris. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Media Virus Podcast. Thank you very much. We're out of here.
I wish I could hear the bumpers through the headphones.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay. You don't even have to apologize.
I was gonna
Miss you back. Come back soon.
I didn't know what I was gonna say, but something about Connie not showing up. I wanted to mention her.
That's why I did that.
We mentioned her at the top, but she wasn't going to be here. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
And
thank you very much. Well, that was good. I like going to YouTube. It's a lot easier.
Okay.
And to like interact with the people in the comments. And we had like 4 people watching at one point. Oh wait, we're still fucking.
How did you guys go live? You have 1,000 subscribers, or were you on a computer doing live?